Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. This is our first vlog of 2023 and we are heading back to the arena that we hired in my last vlog. Today we actually are planning on having a little jump. I think, as I mentioned in the last vlog, I've got a little jumping clinic booked in with Jeff Billington, so I really need to figure out Bambi's buttons and how she needs to be ridden jumping. I think I've jumped it like 4 times under saddle, so while I know I can jump, I need to figure out what suits her and what's good for us both. So she's screamed, the car's ready, I've mucked the 2 boys out, I haven't mucked her out, and she is actually freshly clipped, but I did lunge her last night and she was good as gold, so she actually looks insane. Her condition in comparison to sort of 6 months ago, I am super happy with. So I'm just gonna put a little rug on her and then we're gonna get loaded and get going, and hopefully she is gonna load for me. I am back with another little voiceover. So just starting with the warm-up, I just started with, again, as I always do, simple walk hold transitions, getting it moving forward, and then again the same in the trot. My aim of today was really to just get her thinking forward, and that's something that she struggles with at home. But usually, as you will have seen in the last video, she came out so forward thinking because she was somewhere new and she was like, wow, what's going on? But sometimes she can use that energy against me, and she did do that today in this session. So it started off with just some walk, and then as the warm-up progresses, I just started introducing the trot poles. And I tried not to do too much with the trot poles, just wanted to let her figure her own legs out, and you'll see actually it doesn't always go to plan, it doesn't always go right, and she's a baby and that's completely fine. So I was working on just trying to keep her in the correct bends rather than her looking at the ponies to the left in the walk, just to get a better feel for her contact. And we did actually have a change of bit, which I didn't like. While the contact was a bit more consistent, I decided that this bit isn't for us. There's too much movement in the bit, so we're going to go back to the comfy mouth Egbert snaffle from Expert Bits. This is another one of their snaffles, but there's too much movement in the loose ring, so we're going to go back to the other bit. The Flatwork to begin with was great. I was really happy with it. She was forward, she was listening to me. I'm not concerned about where her head is. I don't know, I say it every video, but I'm really not. So my aim was to just get her moving and get her forward, and that's what we achieved from the warm-up, so I was overall really happy. So before I put any of the jumping clips in, I would just like to say firstly, I was over the moon with her Flatwork, which was a bonus. She's definitely coming along with that, and it was definitely more consistent, and with me moving more forwardness came hit and miss, but it's definitely getting better. Jumping wise, something just changes in her head, and she's got this attitude and she acts like a pig. And before people start commenting and people start messaging me saying, have you had the saddle checked? Have you had a back checked? Have you had a teeth checked? I have had every single thing checked. The physio is happy with her. The dentist was only here last month. She's happy with her. The vet actually checked her when she came back from the sales. So again, they were happy with her. The saddle has been checked both when she was getting a dressage saddle, and they've both been checked since. So again, happy with them. She just unfortunately has this attitude, and when she's uncomfortable, when she feels not even uncomfortable, when she's out of her comfort zone, she just has this attitude of, I'm going to be a cow and I'm going to do everything in my power to stop you moving me forward and stop you pushing me in the direction that you want to go. So there's nothing wrong with her, there's nothing wrong with her tack, nothing wrong with her teeth. It's just something we're just going to have to push through and get over. And again, she's a baby, you know, she might just need to build up some more muscle so she feels a bit stronger with that, and that's fine. But unless she does it, we're not going to build that muscle. So just thought I'd throw that in there before I get any messages or any hate and say you need to have a check on that, because it's all been done. She's fine, she's perfect. Then we move on to popping some small fences to see where she's at, see if she can figure out where she's putting her legs. And the first jump I was like, okay, she's got this. And the minute she'd been over that cross pole each way, she then started to use her energy against me, and it just went a little bit downhill from there. The battle started and my riding just went downhill. I needed sacking coming into this fence. I didn't have her straight, I didn't have her between my leg, and as you see from the jump, she kind of went to take off and then hovered in midair a little bit and then jumped, then I got left behind. Thankfully I didn't fall off, but I really needed sacking for that. So we come back round, we try again, and it was a much better jump. I have booked in a jump lesson after this session because I have come to the conclusion that after not jumping since before I was pregnant, I really need to sort myself out. I came into that jump where she stops and I just didn't have my leg on. I expected her to just take me, and you can't do that with a youngster. So again, I needed sacking. Came in again and she took me to that fence. I should have sat up a bit better, threw myself at her, which was unnecessary because the jump is a cross pole. And you can just see my lower legs just swinging back, so I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with how I was riding these fences at all. And I know the cross poles, but when you're riding a youngster, every single fence matters, especially teaching them some technique and teaching them how to go. I then felt like we got into the swing of things. I shook myself off and we were flowing, we were getting there. And she started to get a little bit enthusiastic. But then it was like all of a sudden something switched in her brain and she was like, I'm fed up with this now. I've done a couple of fences and I'm bored. And you can see how much I'm really having to put my leg on her just to keep her forward, to stop her from curling her body and bucking or throwing her head back at me, which is something we need to work on. Again, there was no need for that from her. I really did have my leg on. So I decided to make her walk over it. I was like, no, you can go from that from a standstill. So we walked over it and we come back round and try again. And she was like, no. So we come back round and we try again. And I really was pushing for a big trot, getting her moving forward off the leg and just letting her trying to take me into a fence. But it's hard. She got it there. We dropped it right down to it was a tiny cross pole. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. She's getting the hang of it. And I don't even think it's a case of her not having the ability. I think it's a case of her not being able to understand where she needs to put her legs when she's coming in a trot. And I also don't help the matter sometimes. So I I'm really going to have to shape myself up if I want this horse to be an eventer, because at this moment in time, I'm just going to teach her bad habits, and that's not what I want. So I decided to just go for a big canter to try and get some movement going again. And as you can see, she was just like, nah, not happening. And this went on and on and on. And obviously I've only put a handful of clips in of her doing this, but the last like 35 minutes of the session, this is what she was like. And it just is exhausting. You think you're getting somewhere. You think, oh, we're getting into a flow now. She's jumping things nicely. And I was like in my head thinking, we can move up into a canter now. And then she starts doing things like that. But it's a baby thing. It could possibly be a muscle weakness where she really needs to strengthen up a little bit, and that's why she's doing it. I am also actually going to get the chiropractor for it. I know the physio's seen it and the vet's seen it, saddle fitter's seen it, dentist has, but I'm going to get the chiropractor. Again, I wasn't bothered by that. She was going forward. It doesn't need to be a big, over-exaggerated jump. It just needs to be that she goes over the fence, and that's completely fine. It's really showing in my riding that I have done such little jumping in the last 18 months. So I saw Kipper when I found out I was pregnant, literally, because I just knew she needed to be out competing and doing her thing, and she wasn't going to cope being a field ornament. So I haven't really properly jumped a horse that knows what it's doing for a good 18 months. She obviously came home, I bought her back, and she had complications going on. So as you'll have seen from our videos, we did go out cross country twice, and we did go to 2 arena hires, and that is probably the only proper jumps I've done with her, because when I went to Kelsall for the one-day event, we only did the warm-up, it fell off, and I just knew something that wasn't right. And it was that day that we came to the conclusion she needed to go to the vet to then see what was going on, and the outcome actually was that we ended up putting her to sleep. So I have probably jumped in 18 months 10, 15 times, probably only 5, 6 of them on Bambi. So yeah, I honestly think I'm such a big issue in this, trying to get Bambi jumping. So I'm hoping between us, and well, I'm hoping me and her together can get this going with the help of a decent instructor, and also the help of the instructors on the Flatwork clinic, to just try and get a bit more supple, and moving off my leg a bit more, because these little hissy fits that she's throwing are just unnecessary. And you know, there she wasn't going forward, but that was because she threw them stupid little bucks behind to stop the movement and stop the rhythm. So then I thought I was try to push it as much as I can. Thought maybe the pole will give you a rhythm and then we can get over it. She's just hard. She got there in the end, but again, it wasn't even straight. So we both really need to shape up, me more than her. She can't shape up if I don't shape up, because it's me who needs to help her. So I really, really was disappointed with myself. We're home, we're very wet. We got caught in the last 20 minutes of just when I was jumping her. Just as I thought, oh, the Flatwork's going fab. She's forward. Boom. The rain and the wind hit and she was backwards. She really doesn't like the rain and the wind, and I've really, the last couple of weeks, when I've been trying to build her fitness, just persevering, getting wet, getting it done, and it is helping. But taking Bambi out of her comfort zone and asking her to do something that she really doesn't want to do, like the weather, just causes carnage. I lost count of how many bucks, how many rears, how many cow kicks I got today, and it just isn't fun. Like, just isn't fun. I don't mind it because she's a baby and that's fine, but she can't do that every time we go somewhere new, which is a little bit frustrating. But positive note, we did get going. She did go over the fences, doesn't mean he stayed up, but we got there, she went over them. Nothing was big. The height today was never an intention, it was always just to get her going, get her forward, and try and actually just pop over a few fences and just trying to get a rhythm with her. So she really, I was going to say I found that we did get a rhythm in the end, but we didn't. So that would have just been a lie. I went with the intention of just trying to teach her to trot in and figure her legs out herself, and I quickly realised she can't do that. She can't figure out where her legs need to go, hence why we crashed through a couple, and hence why I did nearly come off, we nearly went over her head, because she will come in from trot over the pole and then just go, woo, there's a fence. No matter how much leg you put on her, she will come to basically a standstill, or the slowest trot she can do, and then jump from that, which obviously, when there's no pace, there's no rhythm, there's nothing coming in, I just sit there and think, okay, well my legs are on, I can't do any more than that. And then she jumps from a standstill and throws you, and she's so tricky. But overall, Flatwork, super happy with. Jumping, she jumped. Might not have been neat, might not have been nice, might not have felt nice, but it jumped, and that's all I could have asked for today. So I would have liked less attitude, I would have liked less bucks and less broncs and less cow kicks, but we can't have everything. Slow and steady will win this race, and yeah, I think I'm going to have to try and jump it again before I take it to the Jeff Billington clinic at Aintree, which is fine. She's jumping well at home. I might try and record a video of the neck. We're going to have to do a little jumping session at home, so we might try and get that recorded so that you can see the difference in her at home to somewhere new. That arena wasn't new, so which is why we went back there to jump today. She's just so comfortable at home, and then when you get somewhere she's like, nah. So I'm not unhappy with her today. She actually was good as gold, minus the cow kicks. I knew when it came to jumping somewhere else that she would be backwards, and she would come off me, like come against me and go against me leg, and that's fine. That's just something we're gonna have to learn to deal with. She is much better at the canter, but the way she's jumping at the minute and she's sort of backing right off, I don't want to come in a canter, because if she's going to back off right in front of a fence from a canter stride and then leap, I am getting left behind and I'm going over her head, and I really don't want that. So my legs are burning from sitting all the antics that she threw at me. So here's to the next one. I've got 3 Flatwork clinics, like one after the other each week. So I think I might record them but give you one big video together, because that'll just be boring for you, so just keep watching Flatwork after Flatwork. And then hopefully there'll be another jumping video of her at home before we go to the Jeff Billington clinic. So stay tuned. Hopefully we will start seeing some improvements in it. Well, hopefully you guys will, because I've definitely seen a massive improvement in it. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like and comment on this video.